The market takes a haircut today, dropping over 3%, giving us a stern reminder why we never countertrade wave threes. This is Invest with Jacob. Okay, guys, so in yesterday's video, we talked about the fact that the market should test the pivot and we should see a pretty strong drop after that. And that's exactly what we saw. The market poked up into the pivot before dropping over 3% today, down below 41.50. This is a clear reminder of why we don't counter trade wave threes. We don't short them when they're going up, and we don't try to go long when they're going down. Today's move was pretty much straight down with no bounces, crushing the longs in its path. I'll get into all that in just 1 second, but first, if you're new here, welcome to the show, guys. My name is Jacob Gabbard, and this is Invest with Jacob, where we use Elliott Wave Theory to break down the SP500 and the NASDAQ. I highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can get our daily S&P updates, our trade setups, and our buy alerts. All right, guys, so with the move down today, as expected, we're seeing a little bit of bounce in the after hours before we see our expected next push lower. So let's jump into the chart and take a look. Okay, guys, so here we are on the 1-hour futures chart for the S&P 500. And as you can see, we got the big push down here towards 4130 and are starting to bounce it up just a little bit. So the way this is counting right now is we got our black wave 1 down here, our black wave 2 here, and then we started our wave 3 down where we got 1, 2, and then on Monday we got wave 3 concluded, bounced up into the pivot into the morning on Tuesday, and then Tuesday morning all the way to the close basically fell off a cliff here in our wave 5 of 3 down. So we came down, we're expecting a push up here towards about 4,200 to 4,220 to hold. And then we should see the last push lower down towards this 4,100 to 4,090 region to complete this wave 3 at the 1618 fib. And from there, we should see a bounce up in 4 towards 4231. So you should get a pretty decent bounce up, okay, back toward the pivot. And then the final move down in 5 down towards that 3955 to 3925 area we've been talking about. So for tomorrow, we're expecting a bounce up towards 4,200 to 4,220. Okay, and if they get there quickly, then we can see the next push lower. So that is what we're looking at for the black count. So for the red count, okay, I think it's much less likely now, especially with the move down again today. You know, we're looking at red 1 being down here where this 4 is, red 2 being up here where this blue 1 is. Okay, and then we would be starting wave 1 of 3 down, which would be where this bracketed 3 is, and then a push higher, and then you're getting a push lower here. Now, there are a couple ways to count this and look at this, but the reason I think it's unlikely is, 1, the 618 is a very common wave 1 of 3 target, which is what we would have here. Remember, we're on this big red 2, so we'd start wave 3 and we need 1 of 3 down. This structure from here to here is not very impulsive with this big spike up. So it doesn't look like an impulsive move down. Additionally, this bounce is very small, okay? So you would expect a much bigger bounce up here towards this 4,400 region in order for this to be the red count. And so because of that, I do think the red count is not very likely at this time. However, if we're going to consider the red count, there's 2 real ways to look at it. The first would be that the wave 1 play down here towards 618, and then you got a just absolutely tiny wave 2 here, which is very unlikely. You would expect this move to be up towards the 4,400 region or even higher to give us a more standard wave 2 bounce. And so I don't think this is the wave 2. But if it is, you would expect this to continue moving down. And when it gets to this 1618, you would expect it to continue through that 1618 all the way down to 3925, really without much relief. And that would be the minimum target we would want to see if the red count was playing off of this spike here. Okay. The other way to look at the red count is that this was a push higher, and then this concluded the wave 1 down. And in that case, we would see a much bigger rally up towards that 4,400 region, as I spoke about, and even higher than that possibly, and then a move back down through the pivot. The reason that really doesn't excite me is that we're already almost halfway through the pivot, okay, of the red count. So by moving halfway through it, you would expect it to continue on because wave 1 of 3 shouldn't really be this deep into the pivot. So when you see that, this tiny wave 2 is not exciting. It doesn't make me think that the red wave is playing out, and we're already into the pivot of the red count. So this being the bottom of wave one also doesn't really make a whole lot of sense right now. So I do have the red count on here still, as if we see a direct move down, it is possible we saw a tiny wave two here, but again, I think it's pretty unlikely. And then, guys, the blue count, I don't know, I guess I still have it on there to make the bulls feel good, you know, like petting them and saying they're a good boy, you know, they're doing good. The bulls really don't have a whole lot to hang their head on right now. They're looking for the black count to conclude and then start a rally from there. That is their most likely bullish scenario. But technically, the blue count is still alive because it is barely holding on by a thread over this low over here at 4101. So until it breaks 4101, the blue count can stay on the chart to make the bulls feel good about themselves right now, because they need something to feel good about. So that's really what we're looking at, guys, is the black count with a push up towards that 4200, 4220 region, and then a push down towards 4100 to 4090, somewhere in that area. Okay. The red count, again, if it moves down through this 4090 region and just continues to plow forward down to at least 3925, then we have to take that count more seriously and kind of look at what's going on there and figure out exactly what's the next steps from there. Or if they really get a big rally up here and consider this the bottom of wave one, which I don't love because it's almost halfway through the pivot, you could possibly have that happen as well. But again, I am not very high on the red count. So we have the black count is our primary right now, looking for that bounce towards 4200 to 4220. But this market has been very stingy with bounces since last Thursday. So we'll see if they get up to that level. All right, guys, over on the NASDAQ, okay, they've pushed down and made a new low. And as I told you, when they broke that 13,491 level, that was very likely that they would go down and make a new low. They did that today. So they broke the new low. They were trying to push up on the NASDAQ as well, and their rally higher. And they are in an ABC pattern here down to complete this move down from the high. And so with that new low, the wave two option is obviously dead. As I told you, once they broke that 764 fib, it likely would be. And they're pushing down towards that 12.5 area that we would look to for support, trying to get a little bit of a rally here up before another push down. And with the depth of the push today, it is possible the NASDAQ can push down towards that 12,250 range. We were expecting 12,500, but 12,250 can be in play here. So we would look for this pattern to complete around that 12,500 to 12,250 range, depending on how they decide to play this last leg down. If they're going to give it a bigger bounce and then drive it down towards 12.5, or a smaller bounce and push it on down to 12,250. So the NASDAQ we are expecting lower than it saw today. I don't think it has completely bottomed yet either. And I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of a bigger bounce here before the next push lower, targeting that 12.5 area. Guys, if you like the information I put out in these videos and you want real-time market updates from me, you need to check out investwithjacob.com. There's a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that link, and it will take you over to the website. Once you get there, check out our membership plans area. Okay, we have two amazing plans, and they both come with a 7-day free trial because I want you to get in there. I want you to try it out and become part of our trading family. Make sure you love it before you ever spend a penny. Okay, we have two amazing rooms. The first one is my Invest with Jacob room, and there you get all my real-time market updates, which have been detailing this move down all the way through the day, as well as my buy and sell alerts and all of your Elliott Wave questions answered. We trade the SPY and the QQQ. And we swing trade, which means our trades last anywhere from a few days to a few months. So if you're looking for day trading or individual stocks, you need to check out PT's Throne Room. And there you get everything in the Invest with Jacob room, as well as day trading and individual stocks and PT's reduced risk binary method. It is so powerful, you need to see it to believe it, which is why you have that 7-day free trial. He has also started a challenge account with $4,000 in it, trading mini ES futures, where he is averaging 3 to 4% a week, showing you how to build a small account into a big fortune. Okay, guys, we would love for you to come test us out and make some money together. All right, guys, key takeaways for today. We're looking for a bounce, okay, potentially up to that 4,200, 4,220 range, and then a final push down in wave 3 down towards that 4,100, 4,090 area. Could push as low as 4,060, but typically we would look for the 4,090 area to hold, and then a bounce up in 4 towards 4,231 from there, and then on down to complete that black count in the 3,955 region. On the NASDAQ, they've already made a new low. We would like to see a little bit of a bigger bounce on the NASDAQ before another push lower towards that 12,500 to 12,250 region. With the push down today, we have extended the low area down towards that 12,250 area. All right, guys, that is the market update for today. I will talk to you tomorrow.